Admiral Kethavar's 6 eyes gleamed with satisfaction as he observed the blue-green world spinning helplessly before his massive dreadnought. Earth hung in space like a ripe fruit ready for harvest. The Zephyrian Empire had conquered 17 star systems in the past decade, and each victory followed the same predictable pattern: orbital bombardment, desperate pleas for mercy, then unconditional surrender. "Sir, we've maintained blockade formation for 72 standard hours," reported his tactical officer, mandibles clicking nervously. "The humans have made no attempt to communicate or surrender. Perhaps they don't understand our intentions?" Kethavar's laugh rumbled through the bridge like distant thunder. "Oh, they understand perfectly. These mammals always try to appear defiant at first. Send another demonstration." The order rippled through the fleet's communication channels. A single plasma lance streaked toward Earth's atmosphere, vaporizing a small uninhabited island in the Pacific Ocean. The energy signature would be visible to every sensor on the planet, a clear message of the Zephyrian Empire's overwhelming power. Hours passed, then days. Still no surrender transmission. "Perhaps their technology is too primitive to respond," suggested the communications officer. Kethavar's confidence began to waver. In his experience, even the most stubborn species capitulated within a week of orbital demonstration. The humans were entering their second week of silence. "Sir," the sensor operator's voice cracked with alarm, "I'm detecting massive energy buildups across the planet's surface. Underground facilities are powering up simultaneously." "Weapon systems?" Kethavar demanded. "Unknown, sir. The signatures are unlike anything in our database." Suddenly, Earth's night side began to change. What had appeared as scattered city lights moments before now pulsed with coordinated patterns of energy. Geometric formations of light spread across entire continents, connecting major population centers in intricate networks that resembled some vast, glowing circuit board by the 7 moons, whispered the tactical officer. "The entire planet is activating." Then space itself seemed to tear open, not near Earth, everywhere at once. Across the solar system, reality split along invisible seams, revealing glimpses of an impossible darkness beyond. From these rifts emerged vessels that defied every principle of physics the Zephyrians had ever encountered. The human ships materialized like nightmares given form. They were not constructed. They were grown, their organic curves suggesting something that had evolved in the deepest trenches of space. Their hulls absorbed light rather than reflecting it, creating patches of absolute darkness against the starfield. Each vessel moved with fluid grace as if swimming through vacuum rather than flying. "How many?" Kethavar's voice barely escaped his throat. The sensor operator's claws trembled over his instruments. "I count 7,000, 8,000. Sir, they're still emerging. These readings can't be correct, but they were correct." The Shadow Armada, humanity's deepest secret, had been revealed at last. For decades, humans had prepared for this moment. While their public face showed a species barely reaching for the stars, their hidden infrastructure had been building something unprecedented. Every major city served as a node in a planetary quantum network. Every seemingly primitive spacecraft had been a decoy, masking the true extent of human technological advancement. The human ships moved with terrifying coordination, flowing around the Zephyrian fleet like water around stones. They made no aggressive moves, issued no threats. They simply surrounded the invaders with overwhelming presence. Finally, a transmission reached Kethavar's flagship. The voice that emerged from the speakers was calm, almost conversational, the tone of someone discussing the weather. "This is Admiral Chen of the Terran Shadow Fleet. We apologize for the delay in responding to your invitation to surrender. We were waiting for our full defensive force to arrive." Kethavar stared at the tactical display, where red dots representing human vessels now outnumbered his own forces by nearly 50 to 1. Each ship radiated energy signatures that suggested weapon systems beyond his comprehension. "You see?" Admiral Chen continued. "Humanity learned long ago that the universe is a dangerous place. We've spent the last century preparing for visitors who might not come in peace. Your demonstration attack was quite helpful. It allowed us to calibrate our response appropriately." As if responding to some unheard signal, the human fleet began to move. They didn't charge or maneuver for attack formation. Instead, they simply began to exist more intensely. The space around each Shadow Fleet vessel started to warp. creating gravitational anomalies that made the Zephyrian sensors scream with alarm. "We have no interest in conquest or empire." Chen's voice remained maddeningly calm. "But we also have no intention of surrendering our world to would-be conquerors. So we'll make you a counteroffer. Leave our system immediately and we'll pretend this was all a misunderstanding. Continue your blockade and discover why we call this the Shadow Armada." Kethvar's tactical display painted an increasingly desperate picture. His dreadnoughts, previously the apex of military technology, now seemed like children's toys surrounded by predators from a fever dream. The human ships weren't just numerous. They were operating with technology that violated everything his scientists thought they knew about physics. "Sir," his communications officer whispered, "recommend we accept their terms." For the first time in his career, Admiral Kethvar gave the order to retreat. As his fleet turned away from Earth, he couldn't shake the feeling that humanity had been toying with them from the beginning. The planet they'd planned to conquer had revealed itself as something far more dangerous than another primitive world ripe for harvesting. Behind them, the Shadow Armada watched and waited, guardians of a species that had learned to fight in the darkness between stars. The Zephyrian Empire would spread word of what they'd found at Sol. A race that didn't just refuse to surrender, they had made surrender impossible. Earth remained unconquered, its secrets safe in the shadows.